All right, Goes family, welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys having a great and exceptional evening. All righty, so we are getting this train going. I was going to go live this weekend, but I know I'm going to be real busy this weekend, so I said let me do this now. But I'm definitely happy that I'm going live much more than I was previously. I still am keeping that same momentum that I have at InvestFest, even though it's almost been a month since I came back from InvestFest. But I digress. So, this title of this live today is why most civil servants will lose in this economy. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a civil servant. I am proud, for the most part, of being a part of the civil servant world. But I will say, no matter, and this really goes for all people who are, because you have people that work in the private sector, but they're getting paid at a civil servant wage, i.e. federal government, state government, local government wage, but they just don't have the benefits of the government entities. They could be contract employees for corporations that do work for the government, federal, state, and local. This is not an anti-corporate, anti-government. This is an anti-anything video. So let me put that disclaimer out there. I'm from the DMV everywhere. Federal government, state government, local governments make people money on a regular basis, provide a lot of jobs, help a lot of companies, whether it's small businesses or major corporations, make a lot of money. Or exchanges, services, and things of that nature. So I definitely have to put, that's why I'm like, yeah, definitely, regardless who's in office. And when I have this conversation a lot of times with elders, I notice that they have a retirement mindset, so they'll just shake their head and like, okay, yeah. But regardless who's in office, people who own the corporations are the ones that are going to be making the moves. So corporations, people who own the companies, people who own the business, the houses, people who own the assets, period. There was no ifs, ands, and buts about this. All right. So at the end of the day, I've been binging on this show for the last week. Baltimore Homicide: Life on the Street. Great show. Like, I remember watching a couple episodes when the show was actually on when I was a child. I've always been in the cop shows. I know why I didn't become a police officer, because I don't have the temperament to become a police officer. I know that much. Matter of fact, the show is called Homicide: Life on the Street. It's based out of Baltimore, Maryland, back in the 80s. Back in the early 90s, early to mid 90s. But anyways, my point is, I was watching the show, and of course, police officers, no matter what city they're in, they're civil servants. But I'm looking at the tenacity of these three specific cops that you've seen in this picture. Matter of fact, let's see if I can. If I do this, do this, and never mind. But anyways, the picture that you see as my cover, it has the three police officers, and they bought a bar together. They put literally all their life savings into purchasing this bar. Now, they had a lot of hurdles in regards to opening the bar, and because it was the first business, it's always, when you buy your first house, all the research online in the world, when you buy your first house, when you purchase a business, it's always, especially if it's a bar, there's so much paperwork involved in every city, from the liquor license to the taxes to the assuming new ownership, depending on the liquor laws of that state. You might be able to keep the alcohol from the previous owner, you might not be able to. It's just a multitude of things. You might be able to do this, you might be able to do that. Then you got to deal with a multitude of inspections. And if you are in a city, especially like Baltimore, where, Baltimore, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., all the major cities, or even mid-sized cities of the original quote-unquote colonies of the United States of America, most of these places have more historical value than most parts of the country. So, especially like I said, me being from the DMV on the Virginia side of the house, I know that it's like a trip as a child. I went to George Washington's house. That's considered to be historical preservation. The city, a small mid-sized city where I buy rental properties in Reading, Pennsylvania, all the churches cannot be altered and they are protected because of the Underground Railroad, hence Harriet Tubman. So they buy a bar, they want to do all this changes to it, and they can't make any modifications to the building because it's protected under the historical preservation of the state of Maryland. So therefore, they can't make any upgrades, and any construction that they get done, it has to be sanctioned by the Historical Preservation Society of the state of Maryland. I'm going into this because at the end of the day, what makes this interesting is that the fact these guys are civil servants, but they want to beat the odds. They're like, hey, we love what we do. We're homicide police officers for the city of Baltimore. We don't mind serving the community. But from an economic standpoint, we know that there's something else that we can do. There's something else that we can engage in. There's more that we can offer in this life. And we want to offer in this life. But we know that we have to have that good American spirit and say, you know what, let's combine our resources, i.e. they combine their money, their talents, their credit, and all these things are very important for them in order for them to get access to capital. Combination, collaboration over competition. And this was during a time, and I'm talking about this now because it happens a lot now, people doing stuff like that. But the fact that these guys wanted to do this in the 1990s, because this was we're talking about the last era of pensions, where government agencies had real pensions. They didn't have a 401k. Okay, they had pensions where when you retire, you were guaranteed majority of the same pension. The pension was supposed to be basically the same monthly income, or a percentage of the monthly income, like 70 to 80% of the monthly income that you were used to getting as an employee. And then to add on to that, and then the rest would be covered by your Social Security. And then, of course, if you were smart enough to have other investments back then, so therefore, you were supposed to be sitting on Easy Street when you retired from a government job, and you were able to do whatever the heck you wanted. Even certain corporations during this time, they were getting smaller and smaller as more of them were either eliminating pensions, or they came up with, or they intensified what is known today as a 401k pension plan, to where it's all about your monthly contributions and how much money that the company is going to contribute, and how much money your money's basically going to feed the U.S. economy, i.e. the stock market, with making contributions, your company, and you making monthly contributions to the U.S. stock market, which feeds the company, which feeds the United States of America. But anyways, I digress. And the fact that these guys are like, you know what, we could just ride this thing on the Easy Street called being a government employee, work our 20, 30 years, get our nice fat pensions, and be done with it. But they said, no, we're going to think outside the box, and we're going to open up a bar, and we're going to try to be profitable and have income outside of our jobs, and turn our job into an option. Sorry about that. Turn our job into an option. And I find this fascinating. And the reason why I'm talking about this, because a lot of people who become government employees on federal, state, local level, and they get high up in the food chain, they feel that they're on the Easy Street and they should not have to think outside the box. Okay. So that's one thing I will say. Okay. That's one thing I will say. It's like more and more people need to adopt this kind of mindset that are civil servants, because you got to have backup plans. And the main thing is, I always noticed this. These guys were always talking about having intellectual conversations. And bear in mind, this is before the internet information age that we live in now. They were having great, solid, in-depth discussions about life, philosophy, and investments, and what's the new wave of whatever that's coming in order for them to come up economically. They were not your typical civil servants, where it was just about your job, your family, and going home and getting drunk and smoking cigarettes. Especially back then, more and more people smoke cigarettes. Okay. But it was so much, they were so much bigger than that. And that's why I have to say I appreciate that show more, because they were thinking outside of the box. And I always say this about regular work bees for people who work in corporations, and I have to say it for people who work for government entities. No shade against the government, no shade against corporations, no shade against mom and pop businesses. We all lose less and less control of our lives from an economic standpoint when we lose leverage. I've learned that in my 41 years in life right now. So your civil servants will lose in this economy and in tomorrow's economy if they just want to depend on one income. Just like people who work for corporations and small mom and pop companies, it's the same ordeal. You will lose, you will lose, you will lose. And I don't want you to lose. Honestly, don't want you to lose. I want you to win. I want everybody to win. But the U.S. economy is based off of winners and losers. First time I heard that statement was from comedian Carlos Mencia. Didn't get it then, but I get it now. And when he made that reference, he said there's a reason why, soccer, which the rest of the world calls football, isn't as popular as American football, which is back on right now. I know a lot of people are happy about it. He says because they don't do, in football, they do ties. In soccer, they do ties. In American football, no such thing as a tie. Either people are going to play until somebody wins and somebody loses. And that's how the U.S. economy is, regardless who's in the White House, governor's house, and mayor's house, regardless who's in Congress, regardless who's on your city council, state legislature. There's going to be winners and there's going to be losers. And these three civil servants did not want to just be basic. They wanted to be exceptional. And that's why it seems like I beg and plead, but I really say to men, you must be around people who are, well, even men and women, not just men, to everybody. You need to be around people that have everything to do with your future, nothing to do with your past, nothing to do with your present situation. As far as being tight-knit with people like that, because those people, a lot of times people just are comfortable and they want to have basic, boring, comfortable conversations. And the beautiful thing is, because a lot of times civil servants will get hung up on the whole, well, what if there's a conflict of interest? But there's no conflict of interest, because owning a bar is separated from, it's not like the bar is contracted to do work with the city of Baltimore. That would be a conflict of interest. But the fact that you're cops and you got a bar that's just serving customers from all over the city, there you go. And then not only have they increased their incomes, but if the bar is successful, they've increased their they've increased they've increased the opportunities in order for them to get access to capital, and they have increased the opportunities for them to get better tax write-offs. And civil servants, and even corporate employees and mom and pop employees, this is the mindset. My friend Ronald Samuel always says, mindset is everything. This is the mindset that you have to go into. In today's world, thinking outside the box is a must. It is a must. It is a must. How you make your money. And if you're not making money in your sleep, you are losing. If your savings are not increasing, you're losing. If your assets are not increasing, you're losing. If your skill sets are not increasing, you are losing. If your credit score isn't increasing, you are losing. Jason Black said this, and he can be controversial. I don't agree with everything that he says. But Jason Black, who's a film author, documentary director, and YouTuber, he said, and I quote, he said, look, he said, and I want to make sure I get this right, because I'm bad at quoting people. I could be paraphrasing or just get it completely wrong. So let me make sure I look at this correctly. All right, there he is, Jason Black. All right. He says, if a woman says she's okay with her future looking like today, you're either a loser or she's lying to, or a simp she's using. And I tend to agree with that. And the reason why I agree with that is because unless you're just retired and done and don't have any ambition, you should not be happy with your current situation. You should want more. But unfortunately, most working people don't see it that way. I mean, I could be dead serious. Like, I like to use 50 Cent as a great example. 50 Cent's in his mid-40s. 50 Cent always says I'm just getting started. And the funny thing about 50 Cent is he could have retired a long time ago. Dr. Dre could have retired a long time ago. Snoop Dogg could have retired a long time ago. But they know that they have so much more to give. They know that they have so much more to live for. They have so many plans and they're implementing them, even in the elder years. And civil servants will lose, even unless, because here's the thing with being a government employee, whether it's the federal government, state government, or local government, there's this many people at the bottom. It's like the U.S. economy. All right, and there's this many people at the top. So the ones who are at the top, the directors and high senior management and whatnot, they'll be in a better position financially. But even with them, they have to have backup plans and options, and just in case they lose their job or they have a medical issue, whatever the case may be, life happens. No one's safe unless they have multiple streams of assets and incomes and options. I always say, if you have no options in life, you have no leverage. That's the art of negotiation. That's the art of power dynamics. So you have no power if you have no leverage to negotiate for any specific deal. And that old school employee mindset is dead. It's not dying, it's dead in 2024, going into 2025. It's dead now, and it'll be definitely deader next year and in the future and beyond. The moral of the story is, have options. Be around people that are talking about things that matter. Be around people that are ready to execute, man. Get away from folks that just want to be basic, man. That is the moral of the story. It's it's so easy. And if people get that are used to you being around, and they start talking a lot, and they just like, oh, you think you're better than people, and everybody gets that impression when they first meet me, and I'm the most humble person that you ever meet in this life. But I've learned that you can't give too much time to people that are not trying to make moves. You can't give that much time to people who are satisfied with mediocrity or just looking to be a bum on your ticket. they got something slick to say, go old school with it and be like this.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. And in this game called life, we're all going to win if we make the right just sacrifices. If we, talk to people. If we engage. Period. I can't put it any other way. So, and I know, unfortunately, most people who become civil servants, i.e. government employees from the federal, state, and local levels, can be the most introverted. I am myself am guilty of this, so I'm not going to cast stones in a glass house. I'm very guilty of this. Okay? But I will say with all sincerity is that the less you move your mouth, the less action is going to be taken for you. So that's my rant for tonight. So hopefully you guys have a great night. Do the great 3 things, like, share, and subscribe. I might go live again before I go out of town. We'll see what happens if I have the time, but it's all good in the neighborhood. We're going to get it done either way. So take care. As I always say, make money moves. We're going to live like a fool. And I'm out. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you're having a great day. If you've been watching Larry's Anything Goes programming, you know that we are not only providing great financial intelligence content as much as possible by interviewing other financial professionals, professionals in the travel industry, real estate industry, etc., and so forth, but we provide various services when it comes to specific products that we sell, from anything that you would actually find on Amazon or actually at Walmart, etc., and so forth. And we are actually providing specific products due to today's current crisis and whatnot to ensure that we provide the right services and products that you need at a reasonable price when it comes to medical face masks, when it comes to hand sanitizer, and when it comes to latex gloves and things of that nature, and etc., and so forth, toilet paper, paper towels. But we have what you need. Also, family, don't forget that Larry's Anything Goes is a part of an affiliate marketing network known as Gold Standard Partners, where you have the opportunity to buy cryptocurrency and allow others to invest with you as becoming an affiliate marketing partner. And obviously, if they purchase a package with the program, you're able to make money off their package purchases and make money off of their crypto purchases and things of that nature. If you want to join, please follow the links in the description, and I'll give you a call as soon as you sign up and purchase a package, and we'll go from there. But definitely, it's all about the best way to make money moves is to have currency with one another and to ensure that currency is always being spoken of on all levels so it benefits everyone and not just one specific person. That's a lot of things that people forget about. So think about joining the program and we'll be able to go from there. But if not, either way, it's always appreciated. And thank you for watching. And hopefully you guys have a great day and continuously make money moves so you don't live broke like a fool. Take care. As you can see, with our various products, we have our financial apparel, as you see, wearing There's Anything Goes t-shirt, financial intelligence is sexy, face masks, latex gloves, things of that nature, to obviously ensure the safety of you and your family all at the same time. We want to ensure that you get the best products and see the actual products that we're actually providing for you, and giving you another view of not only the shirts and the medical masks, but actually another view of actual latex gloves and the actual hand sanitizer. Because one thing we've learned throughout this unfortunate crisis is that we have to take more precautionary measures to ensure not only the safety for ourselves, but for our families. And having a great pair of hand sanitizers, latex gloves, and medical face masks will ensure that safety. And with all that being said, hopefully you guys will check out our online store. We have the various products that you see here. With a couple of clicks, especially if you're paying via PayPal, it makes life that much easier for you to purchase our various products, especially during this unfortunate situation. You see the apparel from Larry's Anything Goes. We have the medical products when it comes to hand sanitizer, latex gloves, medical face masks, things of that nature, and various other products. So please check out Larry's Anything Goes. Support small local businesses. We greatly appreciate it, and hopefully that you have a good day.